Have you ever imagined a place where every room is a death trap, and every hallway leads to terror? Holmes, one of America's first known serial killers, turned this macabre vision into reality. With his charming demeanor, sharp intellect, and reputation as a doctor, Holmes lured dozens, perhaps hundreds, of victims to their unsuspecting deaths. The hotel he built was not a place for rest but a maze designed for murder. Holmes didn't just kill, he profited from death, selling his victims' bodies to medical schools and researchers. But why would someone with a perfect facade and a bright future choose such a dark and horrifying path? How did it all begin? In 1893, Chicago was bustling in preparation for the World's Fair, attracting millions of tourists. Holmes saw an opportunity in this crowd. He purchased a 3-story building near the fairgrounds, turning it into the World's Fair Hotel, a site that would become one of the most horrifying crime scenes in history. The hotel was designed as a death machine. It had rooms sealed with no escape, staircases leading to dead ends, and chutes that sent bodies straight to the basement. Holmes even installed gas pipes to silently suffocate victims in their rooms. His victims weren't just strangers. Some were employees at the hotel, women he seduced and manipulated, or people seeking job opportunities. Holmes would ensure their lives under his name, profiting financially from their untimely deaths. The horrors and his motive. Holmes didn't just kill, he relished it. Reports suggest he had a torture chamber in the basement, where he dismembered bodies to sell to medical schools or use for his own experiments. A witness once recounted, Holmes spoke about death as if it were a game. There was no emotion, no conscience in his eyes. But why did he do it? Some psychologists believe Holmes was driven not only by greed but by a thirst for control. He wanted to play God, deciding the fate of those who crossed his path. The end of a monster. Holmes was arrested in 1894 after an accomplice reported him for fraud. During the investigation, the disappearances tied to his hotel began to surface. Police discovered human remains, bones, and surgical instruments in the basement. Documents revealed meticulous planning for each of his crimes. He was sentenced to death after confessing to 27 murders, though the real number of his victims could be over 200. On the day of his execution, Holmes showed no remorse, stating, "I am not afraid to die. I was born for this." Was Holmes a genius with a twisted mind, or simply a devil in human form? Did the social climate of the time play a role in creating such a monster? The story of Holmes and his murder castle continues to terrify people even today. What are your thoughts on his actions? Share them in the comments. And don't forget to follow